My worst date ever was I went rock climbing with someone, just like to a gym. I was a little bit out of shape at the time, and I fainted halfway up a wall. Yeah, and surprise, surprise, never called me back. Hi, I'm Mary. I am 27. I'm from Seattle. I am an only child. Now I live in DC. I am a dancer, and I also like to do outdoorsy stuff. Oh, I'm really into bicycling. So I'm an advocate in my day job, but WABA is like the one advocacy thing I do just out of like conviction. DC is great for cycling. Every time I'm in my car, I'm so frustrated because I'm just not going anywhere. Whereas if I'm on a bike, like, sure, yes, I'm taking my life into my hands constantly, but I'm also going faster than traffic. Biking in DC is more pleasant, 99% of the time than biking in Seattle. I am polyamorous. I figured out like 7 or 8 years ago, kind of midway through college, that that's what worked for me. Hooked up with someone for a little while. It ended like normally. Ran into him at a party with another woman, and I just innocently was like, oh yeah, so-and-so and I dated too, like back in December. And she flipped out, got hold of my contact information later and harangued me because apparently he had lied. She thought that they were like still together, like on a break but not seeing each other, and he hadn't told her about me, and that somehow became my problem. Instead of him being a terrible communicator, probably not someone that she should be with, but she was like really invested in this guy. From that point on, I was like, whoa, jealousy is scary and accomplishes nothing productive, and I would so much rather, if someone I was with wanted to sleep with someone else, which seems like a natural thing to want, I would so much rather that they just tell me. And I learned about polyamory from Dan Savage. Thank you, Dan. I really do think that I am pretty close to like a traditional definition of polyamorous. I want to have ongoing relationships with multiple people and have them be relationships, if that's what the emotional depth that we both want to get to. I think I kind of max out at 3. Yeah, and there have been like various points in my life where I've had 3 partners. I have 3 partners now. 4 years of being not poly, and now it's been like 8 years of being poly. There were lots of times where I was only dating one person. Most of my circles of friends are either poly or sort of polyconversant and accepting. I did a lot of okcupid. It can be good for just like meeting people. I don't even necessarily consider it a date. When I first got to DC, there was this couple was like, oh, we were going to message you on okcupid because you look cute. I'm like, oh, like that's super flattering. They're super awesome, and they moved away, but we're still kind of a thing when we're in the same city. I am mostly a bottom, a receiver of sensation. Back in Seattle, they do a lot of poly events at the dungeon space. So it was like, on Sunday night, we have a potluck and talk about feelings and relationships. And then on Thursday night, we beat each other up. Would you like to check out Thursday night? I was like, sure. The queer community is wonderful. I feel like an interloper sometimes because I mostly end up having like relationships with men. My one relationship with a woman she was part of a couple. I've always like kept really busy, and dating 3 people doesn't leave much time for catching up on my pop culture. I was gonna, try it out until it stopped working, and it hasn't stopped working yet.